Welcome to The Breakdown. I'm your host, Diane Rimber, avid reader, award-winning literary blogger, and the founder of Diamond's Literary World, which is my footprint in the literary industry. We all know that we are living in some very serious times. We are in the middle of, I would call, a race war. Um, there's so much racial tension going on, and if anyone is looking at this years after 2020, know that we were in the middle of a pandemic, and now there's rioting everywhere. I mean, everywhere. After the death of George Floyd. Now, it's not just about George Floyd. Let's be very clear. It's just 400 years of oppression. And people meaning we, people who look like me, people who don't look like me, we're tired. We're tired, and we're trying to make our voices be heard. My point for making the video today is I think that what is going to happen, what you're going to see more of on the breakdown in the upcoming months, will be more historical fiction, more books that talk about how to deal with race wars, how they've been dealt with in the past. Because what I think has not been happening is I don't think we've had the leadership in the present day that we've had in the past. If you're watching very closely, you will see that history is repeating itself, but on a totally different level, okay? So I just wanted to, tell you that that's what you will see more of here on the breakdown. And as you know, I'm not just doing this because we are in the middle of a race war. I myself am a lover of historical fiction. It's actually one of my favorites. You guys know I've talked about it, especially during February and Black History Month, but I do a Black History moment every single day because we need to be enlightened about our history and how rich it is and how we are an underrated people, if you will. So therefore, I figured I'd give you just a smidgen of things or a couple of books that I know that I will be taking a look at or I recommend as reading for racial tension, okay? My first book I read years ago, and I think that is so apropos for what is currently going on in the United States today, that I'm going to pick it back up. I'm going to reread it, and I'm going to redo the video. That is Corporate America by none other than Blacktop. Now, the links to these books will be listed in the comment section. So I hope that I'm speaking clear enough and slow enough. So if you want to jot it down, you can. If not, just know that the videos will be coming very shortly. Again, Corporate America by Blacktop. What happens when you are one of the very few Black people who work for a very prestigious, large Caucasian firm, and racial slurs are tossed around like you would drink water. And so, but instead of fighting with his hands, Tristan decided that he was going to fight with his mind. This book will blow you away. Again, that's Corporate America by Blacktop. Number 2, Medical Apartheid by Harriet A. Washington. I have not read Medical Apartheid as of yet. The things that I've heard about it makes me want to pick it up even more. And how we as a people have been used as guinea pigs throughout history. Okay, so that's Medical Apartheid by Harriet A. Washington. Yet another book that I read many, many years ago, but again, I think can be used as a learning tool right now. It's definitely the Autobiography of Malcolm X, as told to Alex Haley. This is a coming of age book that I think parents should read with their children if they're not sure how to begin the race relation conversation with them. I know for me, being almost 50, that it's going to move me in ways that it didn't as a 13-year-old girl. 12, I was either 12 or 13 when I was introduced to the Autobiography of Malcolm X. It was heavy then. I loved every minute of it. I know it's going to have an even deeper and broader meaning to me now. That is yet another book. A series that I began, have not finished, but I do plan on delving deeper into it, is the Black series by Joan Vassar. Joan Vassar has written Black, Elbert, oh my goodness, I forgot book 3, but book 4 is Anthony, Unshackled. So if you pick up book 1, you will see that from the door, it talks about race relations. This book, I just could not put it down. Again, I'm such a lover of historical fiction that I could just soak it up, just go through them. But because I'm an eclectic reader and I want to share, diverse books with you guys, I chose to, just sprinkle it in. But I think it's time to push it up the ante, as they say, and bring you guys more. I also highly, highly recommend The Promised Land, a collaboration by Brenda Hampton and Nikki Michelle. What happens if you, meaning you and I, wake up tomorrow and find ourselves back in slavery? You heard me correctly. What do you do, or how do you react to waking up tomorrow morning as a slave that has been taken to the promised land, or so they say? Yet another book that I definitely have to read, and again, this is not just my selection for myself, or I'm saying that you should read. This is just a couple of things that you started. Mustard Seed by Layla Ibrahim. How free black men had to hide in the bushes so that they wouldn't be captured and put back into, be put into jail and eventually slavery, because they made the bail so high for doing absolutely nothing, just for being a man walking down the street. That book really moved me. It's a part of a series, again, by Layla Ibrahim. The first book is Yellow Crocus. The second book is Mustard Seed. The third book, which is going to be one of my upcoming reads, is Golden Poppies. Mustard Seed is a must read. Oh my God. I absolutely loved it. I highly recommend it. There's so many others out there. You have The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. I mean, how much more clearer can we get than that? I mean, if you want to go basic, I've read books such as North and South by John Jakes that talks about race relations, talks about brother against brother, talking about how we were put on the front line because they knew that the front linemen would die first. How about that? So, there's so many books out there, and I can't wait to share them with you. I know I can't share them all, but I'm definitely going to try my best to bring you as many books dealing with race relations as I can. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to put them in the comment section. I would love to hear what you recommend to me. And again, this was just a few things that popped up in my head. I felt like I needed to come on here and talk about it. People want to know where they start. And again, there's so many books for children, age-related books for children, talking about race relations. Because people, we are not born like this. We absolutely are not. This is a learned behavior. And just the way it's been learned, it can be unlearned. So, and it starts at home. So let's start feeding our children the knowledge. If you're not sure what to feed them, begin to feed yourself. Once you start to feed yourself, it can be a trickle-down effect, because then you can begin to have these conversations with your children. The not so comfortable relations or conversations that you need to have with your children. It's a shame that it has to come to this, but here we are, 2020, having this conversation. I pray that each and every male and female, but mostly the males, because they are the hunted right now, that they will return home to their families safely and the same way in which they left, which was alive. With that being said, I'm going to close out this video. I just pray that you have a peaceful evening. Happy reading and be blessed.